Hello, welcome back to Planet Zoo. This is Martini4. We are back in Umpqua Valley Zoo once again. This episode we are building a very elaborate and large habitat for the Eurasian lynx. This guy is sitting up on top of our little mountain above our entrance tunnel. So I wanted it to look very mountainous and lots of like cliff faces and just something you would see on the top of a mountain. So I'm using the natural rock pieces because I feel like the natural terrain it was utilized in building this habitat. So they may have like chiseled away some stuff. I imagine this being essentially a natural cave that was already here, and the zoo just built into it. So you'll see using these flat rock pieces because I wanted it to be very a really flat like cliff rather than using the rounded edge pieces. Those guys right there, they give it too much of a round face, so I wanted it to be more flat. So those pieces worked out really good. And then just kind of detailing up the sides here, just kind of bringing the side of the mountain down, kind of like little terraces. There was a lot of rock work in this build. I cut a lot of footage out. This took me pretty much 2 full days to build. I was kind of out of commission for a while, for a couple of days. Had a little surgery done, so all I could do was sit. So this is what I did pretty much from the time I got up until the time I went to bed, because I couldn't do much of anything else. So yeah, pretty fun. Not gonna lie, it'd be nice to be able to do it every day, but that's life. Yeah, sorry. Going back to the other side of the building here, we have another little cliff face. That building there is our backstage area, of course, for these Eurasian lynxes. Lynxes, is that right? Or is it just lynx? I don't know. So yeah, see kind of the wide shot there. Like I said, I wanted it to be like a large natural cave that they just kind of built into. I do go and fill the rest of that in with more rock pieces. But for this particular habitat, it's kind of a multi-layered habitat. So the guest path is going to go over top of the habitat, so the cats will be able to walk underneath them. It'll give the guests multiple viewing angles. Yeah, it took a lot of planning to do this. I didn't know exactly how I wanted to do it. I was just gonna have just one little area right there in front of the cliff, but I didn't know what else I was gonna put on the other side of the path there, so I just decided to kind of extend this habitat down, give them a larger area to run around in, and don't have to worry about running out of space if they have babies and whatnot. So yeah, one of the barriers between the path and the habitat is going to be a little water area, which is what I built there. Don't have the water in yet because I'm still trying to lay the path down to make the bridge. So here we go, got the water in. I use just the glass barriers there to get the water level to where I needed it, and then using a bunch of the water effects to make it look like there's, you know, rapids running down the side of this hill without actually having any type of water there. So once all the pieces are in, yeah, it really looks like there's a running stream going down to the lower portion of this habitat. Maybe one of these days I will remember to pause the game when it's completely light and we can see everything, rather than have it cycle through the night and day and all the rain and snow and all that good stuff. And here, just trying to hide some of the posts and stuff from the glass, and then building up more of the cliff on the lower section. As you see, there's multiple levels for this habitat itself. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why it took so long. And then building all the fences and everything like that to keep them in. I did have a little bit of trouble with that. I had it looking pretty much the way I wanted it to, and then on the very lowest part of the habitat, there was one rock they could get on and jump, you know, 20 feet over the fence. But yeah, all I had to do is remove the rocks that I put in, and it was fine after that. They haven't been able to escape since then. But still working on this stream, using all these foam effects to make it look like the water's rushing down. And then one last waterfall down here at the end into a pool. Lowering the rocks down into the ground, add a little bit of detail there. I did go back and add a bunch more of those rocks as well, just whenever I got to the real detailing part of my building. As you know, I kind of jump around everywhere, so it was really bad this time because I was a little bit drugged up, to be honest. A few painkillers, but yeah, it kind of made me just focus a little bit better too. So I didn't quite jump around as much as I usually do, but there was still a little bit of it. And now here you see I'm using the faux rocks to cover the front of the building. In my mind, they had to build their own rock face, I guess, to cover up the hole in the cave. So that's why I used all the faux rocks here, just to cover up the rest of the mouth of the cave there. And now I'm finishing it off with the actual terrain and stuff. So if you can imagine, that's what the cave would have looked like before the zoo got there. and back to the natural rock work. Here we go, jumping to after all the rock is in. You see there's a lot of pieces in this build. I'm just trying to make it look as natural as I could. Yeah, honestly, I really believe this is the best build I've done so far. Just because there's so much little things in it that you won't see in the video here. All of the staff paths are tunnels cut into the mountain, and then I lined all of those with concrete and lighting and stuff like that to make them look like concrete tunnels built into the walls or into the mountain, so that the staff, again, like I said before, can traverse through the park without actually going out into the guest areas. I did, although, put in a little staff entrance here into the side of the mountain so that they could go out into the guest area, just because the animals escaping, they would have to collect them and run all the way to the entrance of the zoo and then run all the way back around behind everything. So I put in a little staff entrance at the top here, just so if they did need to move around quicker, they could use those. So now I'm working on the bridge here. I wanted to make it all really custom looking. So I covered everything with these, I believe they're the Asian wood beams. I think that's what they are. And putting in some supports and stuff. Oh, I just forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, I do line the entire pathing with these beams, and I'm going to continue that all the way through the rest of the park. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. These railings end up not being railings at all because I put them up way too high. So they're actually like right at head level of most of the guests, which in a way was I kind of lucked out because they can still see through the fencing, but my intention was to have that a waist high railing. So in the future I'm just gonna put add railing to the path and then use that as a guide to put in my other custom railings, and then I can just remove that from the path. And now on this side, this took a lot of trial and error for me. I decided to use the glass barriers. I did build all this first with just the mesh fence, but then it dawned on me that people could stick their fingers through and potentially be bitten off. So rather than place each individual piece of glass in there, I used the glass fencing and then just covered it up, which was a lot easier. And then you see the little area I built there just for a drink and bathroom, and have the hidden ATM. That was one thing I forgot to record. But it probably would have been cut anyway, because this video is already extremely long, and I apologize for that. I appreciate anyone who watches the entire video. I know if it was me, I would probably have to watch it in a couple of sittings. I probably wouldn't be able to watch it all the way through. Although I know a lot of people just kind of skip through YouTube videos. I don't. I will watch the entire video all the way through. So even if it takes me a couple of different times to get through it all, I will watch the entire video. But you'll see here I'm putting in a double barrier, just so that the cats don't jump. They would, like I said, they still jumped over that fence because of one little rock that I had in there. Then once I got up to the top here, I had to figure out how to continue this. I didn't want the animals actually climbing up onto these rocks, so I put fencing around so they couldn't get up there, which has worked out perfectly. And you'll see I'm just kind of placing these wherever I need them, and then I go back and just fill in the gaps with different, with, you know, more fencing pieces, and then just kind of move the poles around to where they meet, hide some of the seams. There's a bit of overlap, but you don't really notice it from a distance. And then over here I just again just kind of move these pieces around and make everything kind of touch and line up, and yeah, keep the cats in. And then I put them in up at the top here where I thought they might be able to try to climb out as well. And now finally onto the habitat decoration itself. I do a lot of faux rock building. Tried to make as many little like platforms and stuff for the cats to lay on. I watched a little video from, I don't remember what zoo it was from, but they were showing all these little rock platforms and formations and stuff that they had built in the habitat, so that the cats could climb up and lay on everything. He did say that they were all heated, so even when it was cold outside and stuff, they could still go out there and lay on the heated rocks just to you know, be able to relax and still stay warm, get a little bit of sunshine or whatever. I really like the way these two trees came together. I don't know why. It just makes it look like it was split and then just kept growing. And I used a bunch of the dead trees in this one, just to make a lot of different little hardscape areas of just the dead limbs and whatever. Some of them I do go back and put in some of the climbing logs from the habitat tab. I put them inside the trees just so that the cats will actually walk across, like that log that's going across the stream there. They'll actually walk across it, whereas before they wouldn't, because these pieces are not traversable or climbable. And I know I used that tip or that trick before in the cougar habitat, so it's nothing entirely new. But yeah, one of my favorite things to do, I guess, with the cats. So yeah, I hope everyone out there is doing good. We're about 20 minutes into the video now, and I've kind of run out of things to talk about. And there's still about 20 minutes left, so yeah, like I said, it's a long video, a lot longer than I would have liked it to be, but there was a lot of stuff in here that I just wanted to kind of showcase. And yeah, I just kept adding more and more stuff once I got into it. I did a lot of backstage work, and then ended up building an extra viewing platform, and yeah, I probably could have kept going building stuff for this habitat. It just I'm happy with the way it came out, but I always felt like I could make it better and just keep going with it. And here I'm using the little trick from Digital Blob, using the large trees as bushes. I believe those are beech trees that I used. And these hawthorn, I think these are the hawthorn bushes, one of my favorite ones to use. I really like the textures on them. And then the rose bushes here as well. Just wanted to make sure that the cats wouldn't be able to climb up there at all. Throwing some cattails down in the pond area. And then filling out some things with the bracken. I really like using these as ground cover and epiphyte plants. These are my go-tos when I want to add a little bit of color to the rock work. Just kind of stick them into the cracks and everything. And dropping down some more rocks. I don't use the group trick on these guys because there was so many different height variations and stuff like that, and I just wanted some of them to stick out a little bit more than others. And then using the nettles to fill out any little gaps between rocks and stuff like that. These guys, I really like using just the small nettles and placing more of them just to kind of have a little bit more control over where they are and stuff. Yeah, I think I use the small version of the nettles more than anything else than like the large or the medium-sized one. Just like I said, you have a lot more control over where they go and where they're poking out of things. So yeah, that was the habitat, and now we're into the backstage area. This here, I wanted to try my hand at building a sink, and just kind of like a little, just a little station for the keepers. I had to kind of look onto the onto the Steam Workshop just a little bit, just to kind of get an idea of what pieces to use. I couldn't remember what people were using as the sink basin itself until I looked on there, and then it was pretty obvious. It's the only piece in the game that looks like a sink. But yeah, if you don't know, it's the wheelbarrow. I don't even know what it's really called. It's just part of the wheelbarrow. But yeah, it works perfectly as a sink. And then I use all the aluminum pieces there, kind of give it that stainless steel look. And the wall hooks from the conservation pack again as handles. And then I use the edges of these twilight pieces just to kind of make it look like there's doors there. I do realize that they are not centered at all, so I kind of fixed that a little bit. And then just using the spigots again from the conservation pack. Give it that hot and cold water. And then the gutter drain. So yeah, that's our little sink there. I decided to go ahead and put a little shelf above it. I was looking for some sort of like little bracket to put underneath there, but everything was huge, so I just left it the way it is. And now I'm just building a simple shelving unit next to it, just to hold a few items, clutter the place up a little bit, make it look like it's used. And yeah, I know there's a bunch of backstage props and stuff on the workshop that I could have used, but I was in the building mood, so I opted to do everything myself. And then just kind of throwing a bunch of stuff down. Trying to use a few pieces that I don't normally use. And I put a bunch of different mugs up here. I wish there was a little coffee pot. And then over here, I made this kind of cool looking little sign control box area. I don't know what you'd really call it, but one thing I didn't put in here is right behind the camera, it's all caged off, of course, because of the animals, and then I put a little sleeping den, just kind of a concrete box pretty much, a little room for them to go in and sleep if they wanted to get away from everyone. And there's a gate where the keepers can lock them in there if they need to go out into the habitat and clean and whatnot. And then there's a gate over the habitat entrance itself. So I put switches for those because they are on tracks, much like you've seen me do many times before. So yeah, just trying to make this look a little more interesting to look at rather than just the blank plaster piece. And then using these signs a lot. I'm so glad that sinking them in still leaves the letters out, because that would be horrible to try to use the Planet Zoo fonts that they give us, because they are not small enough at all. And then this little, I tried to make like a whiteboard but I went through and just went into Canva and made a little sign. So I used the 1x1 screen to make a little sign. This just says days without injury and is marked off, and then it says Carl will be missed. So yeah, try to put a little bit of humor in there. And just trimming everything off with some black wooden pieces. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool little sign that I made. And then of course, putting up my signage on the outside to let us know what building this is. We are on building 6. I believe there was one that didn't have an actual building itself, so that's why it looks like it's off a little bit. I know that I spelt it wrong. I was going backwards, so yeah, I fixed it. I'm pretty good at spelling until I have to spell things in reverse. And then I have another little custom sign out here that I'm just framing with these marquee pieces, I think they are. Just warning people to keep their fingers off the fence, or their hands off the fence, because fingers are food. And I kind of place those all around on the fence part. And rather than just leave this conservation board up by itself, I wanted to do some sort of covering or something to dress it up a little bit. So I made a planter out of it. I'm sure I've seen something similar to this on the workshop or somewhere else before, but yeah, it just felt like something that just felt right. The pieces kind of work with the theme of this whole area. All the little wood pieces and stuff. The hardest thing is finding plants that fit into these little planters. And then I continue using these, I think they're the Eurasian posts or something. Sorry, I don't remember every single piece name. It might be from like the water wheel, whatever it is. But yeah, I use those for the or something similar to those for other parts of this habitat. So they just kind of fit in nice, and the color kind of matches the New World planters that are down there. There we go. And then just trying to find the smallest plants I could to put in here. There's not too many, but I got it to work. And then the one with nothing on it. Just throwing some bracken up there, and I went ahead and put some ivy down the sides just to kind of break it up just a little bit. And then here is the last little viewing platform. I decided to make I had a bunch of signs made up. for the Lynx, but I had nowhere to put them. So I decided to make this little information viewing platform area. After I had it halfway built, I was going to try to add the information desk, but it would not allow me to set it on top of the paths. It wanted me to take the path out, and it just, nothing looked right. I couldn't get anything that looked good, so I just left the information desk out of the build this time. So I might have to do something. Maybe I'll put a speaker, education speaker thing in here. So yeah, you saw I left the railing on the pathway for this one, so I could get the height just the right size. I didn't want to go through that again. So yeah, I just kind of use it as a template, cover things up, and then just go back and take the railings off the path. And apparently I did not have this level, so everything is kind of tilted a little bit, but after that first little part with the posts and everything, you can't really tell. And now just playing around with some of the Arctic pieces that I haven't really used before, just trying to come up with some little designs and something to kind of dress the place up a little bit. But I did want to leave it fairly open as well, so that's why I wanted to use those pieces rather than just a full wall. I could have done the full wall and then put up more signage and stuff like that, but I like the way this looks a lot better. Kind of trimming off the top of the roof here with the, I believe it's the fascia pieces. And then just raising up the supports on the corners. I thought about doing those as well, but I thought the corners looked better. And then trimming off the front side as well. And then these, I use the ibex lights down in the ibex habitat, so I thought I'd use the Lynx ones here. And then I made another little sign here, so if anybody wants to sponsor this habitat, this would be one of the signs for it. It would just have your name up there. Just make sure you're subscribed to my channel and drop me a comment down, and I will happily put your name up there on that sign, as well as making flags for the light posts and whatever else I can come up with. There's a few other habitats that also need sponsors, so even if you sponsored things before, let me know and we can do another one, unless somebody else that hasn't sponsored it would like to do that. So yeah, this little statue thing here, I'm not a big fan of it, but I put it there. And here we go, we got Sparrow's lovely little headphones here. I've been wanting to use them in a habitat again, so here I put them on here so you can hear what a lynx would sound like if you don't hear them in the habitat themselves. The headphones are on the workshop for anybody. I will put a link down in the comments for anyone that wants to use them. They're pretty cool looking. And then I needed to dress up the words just a little bit, give it a little more depth by adding a little bit of a shadow and a little education thing for the kids to play with. And on this side I needed to put a little bit of something on here, so again going for the humor. So it's not your grandma's house cat. But yeah, this is coming up to the end of our Eurasian Lynx build. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, it was a really long video. Appreciate everyone that stuck around the entire time. If you haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button for me. It really helps me out. As you see here, we have two more habitats coming up, the wolverine and the badger. So you'll come to those guys and then you get to our lynx habitat here. Had a lot of fun building this. It turned out way better than I even imagined it would. So I hope everyone watching has enjoyed it. Hope it gives you a little bit of inspiration. I will have to do like a little walkthrough to kind of give you a better look at the behind the scenes stuff. Because yeah, there was a lot I had to cut out for time, even though this is very long anyway. But yeah, like I said, hit that like and subscribe, help me out. If you want to sponsor this habitat or any other ones that are not sponsored already, drop a comment on the video. Let me know what name you want me to use, and I will gladly make up signs and showcase it in the following episode. So until then, guys, I'll see you around. Bye.
This